Hello, 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 Grand Rising, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Evangelist, hello there. Dolores. Today's Dolores is today's producer, guys. Thank you so much for this recommendation, Miss Dolores. I truly appreciate it. Lolita, hello there. Darnisha, hello there. Lisa, hello, hello, hello. Lisa, hello. Let me see. Anybody I'm missing? Anybody? Y'all was down here just to chatting, wasn't y'all? Hey Robin, hello there. How are you? Hello, Grand Rising, everyone. Today is Wednesday, right? Yeah, today's Wednesday. Is that today? Is that what today is? Right? Thursday. What's today, guys? Today is Wednesday. All right, so today is Wednesday. Hey, Mr. Sosa. I hope that you guys are having a great Wednesday. Um, And yeah, we have a really crazy story. Wednesday, yes. This is the Bernadette. Okay, this is actually an international case. This is not here in the U.S., but it definitely still matters. So we're definitely gonna get into it today. As for the winner for January did claim her winnings. Okay, so that we got that out the way. so this is crazy. Yes, this is a crazy story. Very crazy, very bizarre. Some women don't deserve to have kids. Men can be just as sick. That's the type of story that it is right here, guys. But yeah, the winner for yesterday, she did claim her winnings. Dang. She did claim her winnings yesterday. We had a tough time trying to get her Amazon card. For some reason, when I sent it to her, they sent it to me. I put her email in and everything. I'm like, what in the world? So we was able to get her winnings. She was really excited. So I did post it in the spaces if you guys did not see it already, but yes, she did get it. So we're rebooting and we are restarting for the for the February raffle. The February raffle is Bath and Body Works. Okay. Now I am aware that men do like Bath and Body Works, but some men don't. So if you are a guy and you don't want the Bath and Body Works gift card, you can actually, supplement it with something else or just, swap it out for an Amazon gift card or something like that. But it is for Bath and Body Works, okay? All you have to do is engage on my post or under my YouTube videos, okay? On the after show, people. So all of you guys that are over here, when I end the live, just go over there and just put a comment on what you thought about today's show so that you will be able to get into the raffle. Every time you comment, you are entered. As you guys saw, we got up to like what 100 and something comments or some 180, 170 some comments for the month of January. So we're going to do the same exact thing. So it's my YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Spaces by Wix, or the website. Okay. Hey, Binary B. Yes, congrats. You looking forward to it? Yeah. There's another guy watching this show besides me. Who's watching this show? What other guys watching this show, Mr. Soso? My husband doesn't watch me. So I don't know who you're talking about. There's another guy that watches besides for the winnings. Yeah, there are fellas that watch me, honestly. Now my male audience is way smaller than my female audience. It's a couple of you guys. I probably got a hot, including all platforms, I probably got a hot like 150 men that are very much consistent, but everybody else are definitely women. They're definitely women. So yes. So let's get into today's case. All right. So this is Bernadette Walker, okay, otherwise known as Bia. Why does this do this every time? There we go. So she went missing and she has never ever been found, still to this day. But there were two people that were arrested and charged for her death, her mother and her father. Okay. Um, why they deem her to be deceased, the prosecution have their reasons in the investigations and stuff. But let's get into the deets. Okay. Let's get into the details. Alrighty. So this is the introduction to the case of Bernadette Walker, a 17-year-old girl from Peterborough, UK. This is a story of a betrayal, cover up, and as well as unanswered questions. So on January 18th of 2020, Bernadette was last seen alive with her stepfather Scott Walker, who picked her up from her grandparents' house. So from that moment on, Bernadette had vanished, and her parents, Scott Walker and Sarah Walker, had claimed that she had ran away. However, through the police investigation, there was some truth that was then exposed. So they believed that Scott Walker actually murdered Bernadette and disposed of her body. So Sarah Walker had helped him to cover up the crime, and as well as fabricating stories and messages to make it seem like that Bernadette was still alive. So, despite their convictions, Bernadette's body has not been found, and Scott Walker has never revealed where he disposed of her remains. So, let's get into the background. So, she was 17 years old in the UK. This is in the Cambridgeshire area of the UK. She does have a sibling his name is Anthony Walker. Now, Anthony has been very much vocal when it comes to searching for his sister. He's even made groups and things on Facebook, because of this situation. She was described as being very much creative and artistic. She was very active on social media, and she posted about photography, art, and music. So despite appearing as the normal teenager, Bernadette had harbored a terrible secret, one that she revealed just days before she disappeared. So Scott Walker and Sarah Walker's relationship. Scott Walker was not Bernadette's biological father, but he had raised her since she was a toddler. The relationship between Scott and Sarah was rocky and unstable. They had been together for over a decade, but were not married. Scott had a history of controlling behaviors towards his family members. So this mistreatment, guys, that is going to be mentioned throughout this is SA. I'm only going to say that one time, but mistreatment is going to be used to replace it, okay? So days before her disappearance on July the 16th of 2020, Bernadette had made a disturbing revelation to her mother. She told her mother, Sarah Walker, that Scott had been mistreating her for several years. So Sarah Walker's reaction, instead of believing or supporting her daughter, she accused Bernadette of lying. She threatened her as well and warned her not to go to the police. So allegedly, also told her that if she reported Scott, that she would be thrown out of the house. Okay. Now, let's dissect that for a second, because that lets us know that this is a woman that, one, either knew about it, or when she did find out about it, she is willing to go whatever route she could to protect this man. Okay. She wouldn't care what this man did to her daughter. Anytime that she'll not only say, "You're lying," threaten her not to go to the police, and if she does, she would be kicked out the house. Okay. This allows us to see that if she wasn't a part of the murder, she definitely was a part of the cover-up. Okay. If she didn't know about the abuse at first, she knew about it for sure. As many people always ask, did the mother know about it? She eventually found out. Now, do we know for sure if she had her own inklings? No. Do we know if there was some things that she had seen before? No. But we are able to establish the fact that this is a woman that will go above and beyond to protect the man in which she was with, who refused to marry her, by the way. So this reaction had devastated Bernadette. So she confided in her personal diary. She wrote, "I told my mom about my dad's mistreatment. She called me a liar and threatened to harm me if I told the police. What kind of parent wouldn't believe her daughter?" So to calm things down, it took me off my notes, guys. To calm things down, Bernadette was sent to stay with her grandparents for the night. So the last day Bernadette was seen alive was July the 18th of 2020. On the morning of July the 18th of 2020, Scott Walker had picked up Bernadette from her grandparents' house. So here's Scott's version of the story, okay? So Scott claims that while he was driving home, he had pulled over to roll up a cigarette, and Bernadette jumped out of the car and ran away. He tried to chase after her, but he lost sight of her. And this sounds like a whole nother story that we probably gonna have to cover later, but that doesn't make sense. But that's his version of the story, okay? He also went to Facebook as well to make a social media post looking for his daughter. So this is one of those situations where the actual offender took time to try to cover it up so badly that he went to the public to search for answers when he was the one that held them. Okay. So here's what they say really happened. So Scott's phone was switched off for 90 minutes after picking up Bernadette from her grandmother's house. Okay. Prosecutors do believe this was the window in which he murdered her and disposed of her body. His first phone call after turning his phone back on was Sarah Walker, lasting over 9 minutes. So he talked to the mother, and that conversation lasted for 9 minutes. So this lets us know that within this conversation, there had to be something that was said in this phone call that leads us to believe that not only did Sarah know about this, but possibly he informed her about this as well, or either her running away. Okay. So his first phone call after turning his phone back on was to Sarah Walker. That one lasted 9 minutes. And this call was believed to be when Scott had told Sarah what had happened and planned the cover up. Okay. So this is when that all happened. How she died, what really happened. And this is when Sarah was pulled into it. This goes back into why she wouldn't believe her daughter and why she would take the time to take up for this man, but not take up for her child. Okay. So prosecutor statements from Nicola Rice, who was the prosecutor. She says, in the morning of July the 18th, Scott Walker had went to collect Bia from his parents' house. So prior to doing this, he went to his lockup garage. When he arrived, he was told that Bia was still maintaining that he had mistreated her, had still maintaining that he had mistreated her. He drove off from his parents with Bia. This was the last time that anyone saw her. So shortly after, his mobile phone was then sighted on the countryside outside of Petersboro and then switched off for 90 minutes. This is where it went for this conversation between him and Sarah. So then this telephone call was with Sarah. They talked for 9 minutes. In the case, it was also stated they knew that Bia was deceased. They also concocted a plan to begin to lay a false trail of what truly happened to make it seem like that she went missing. So this was extra levels of deceit to cover up what happened, telling a web of lies to family members, friends, and ultimately the police. Because not only did they tell the police this story, but they also had family members believing that Bia actually ran away when they the ones that killed her. So despite of the police investigation and search, Bia's body has never been recovered. Now, the cover up had helped to delay things as well, because while the investigation was happening, the police is thinking that they're looking for a missing person. Her parents did not report her missing until 3 days later, by the way. Okay. They reported her missing on July the 13th. They had plenty of time to not only kill her, dispose of her body, but also concoct a story to make it all make sense to them, because it did not make sense to anybody but them. Okay. Because I will say that it really wasn't a long gap of them discovering that the parents were a part of this. So that means that early on in the investigation, they were already suspects and probably didn't even know it. Okay. So instead of Sarah helping her daughter, what she then decided to do was send some fake messages from Bernadette's phone to make it look like that she was alive. She also changed Bernadette's social media passwords to stop anyone from contacting her. So she, as well as telling Bernadette's friends that she was lying about the mistreatment and to block her. Apparently because Bernadette had already begun to let people know about the things that was going on with her stepfather. So Sarah had then proceeded to act like Bernadette in the messages, sending text messages like, "I ran away because I don't want to get in trouble for lying." Okay. Now, this actually coincides with what Bernadette had said in the diary, because Bernadette says that my mother did not believe me and she called and she said that I was lying. So all the mother did, Sarah, was basically connect the dots of, you basically confirmed what Bernadette put in her diary to let people know that what she said was the truth and not a lie at all. Because both times you're calling her a liar. She said you called her a liar, and then through the fake text messages, you as well, you called her a liar. So these actions as well had to put a delay into the case as well, which allowed Scott some time to cover up his tracks. So the investigation and arrest After a few weeks with no signs of Bernadette, authorities had launched a full-scale investigation. So the key findings was no financial activity or phone usage from Bernadette after July the 18th of 2020. No CCTV or witness sightings after that date. No credible evidence that she ran away. So they were then arrested on September the 10th of 2020. Okay? So they only lived, they didn't last long at all. They didn't cover up well at all because they wasn't even out 2 months, guys. It was literally a couple weeks. So Scott was then charged with Bernadette's murder. And Sarah Walker was charged with assisting to help him cover up everything. Now, this case is starting to circulate more because now that Scott was sentenced, okay, he's dead. Scott is the amateur cover up. Yes, Scott is deceased. Okay. Scott passed away in his cell. They found him in his cell. They did not give a reason of what happened at all. Of what happened to him in there. Meanwhile, no one has he has never spoken on the truth of where is Bernadette. Okay. So this is one of those cases where, unless the mother pulls it within herself to tell the truth, which she's not because she's sick. Because even though he is deceased, you would think that she would go ahead and be honest. But she possibly don't want to be honest. I'm going to tell you why. Because if she be honest, then there will be other charges that could possibly be used against her because they did not charge her with murder. They only charged her with helping him cover up. That's it. So she possibly played more than what they think. Way more than what they think, i.e., did she tell him to go pick her up from the grandmother's house in order to do what he did? That type of thing. Because they already dropped her off at the grandmother's house because they didn't want her to go to the authorities and things of that nature. Okay. She had already begun to telling friends and family about what was going on and the mistreatment that she was receiving from him. Okay. She's already went to her mother who she has told that he was doing things to her, and her mother called her a liar. So I don't think that the mother will ever tell the truth, because if she does, then she could either get more time or more charges, especially if they're able to locate a body. Yeah, she's too quiet. I think she wanted her daughter gone because of Scott's relationship with her daughter. Yes. She wanted her gone, but also she wanted to protect Scott. That's it. That's all. Scott was her only focus. She didn't care about her daughter. She didn't care the impact that her daughter was going to receive. She did not care about anything. The only thing that this woman cared about was this man right here. And you can tell he looked like an avid alcoholic. You can look at him and tell. This is one of those people that you can tell what type of person he was. He looked like an avid alcoholic. And she possibly assisted him in a lot of things. I wouldn't even be surprised. Hey, Johanna. I wouldn't even be surprised. Hey, Miss Funk. How are you? I wouldn't even be surprised if she knew about the abuse. Obstruction of justice, her mother needs to be charged. I believe so too. But I don't see her going ahead and being honest, because that means that she will be charged with more things. It's not too late. Not too late for her to be charged with more things. Double jeopardy, it wouldn't be, because she hasn't been charged with murder. He was on charge for that. She hasn't been charged with murder. Her thing was helping him cover up. That's it. That's all. So you think that would still be double jeopardy? I don't think so. Yeah, she hasn't been charged with the murder. She's only been charged with helping him cover it up. I don't think that I think she could still be charged with that. If I'm correct, I think she can. Read the first part. Oh, I missed this part. Okay. That's the first comment. I missed that one. I was like, wait a minute. Alrighty. Let me read that one. So let me remove that. So they will not charge her for murder, even if they suspect it, if they don't have the evidence, because she would beat the charges. Then they'd be unable to charge her again once they do find. I see, yeah, I see what you're saying. It's not enough. It's not enough evidence. So in order for them to charge her, they would literally have to have it all together, especially since it's been so much time in between her going missing. They would have to literally have it all together. She would literally have to tell everything. Everything. All matter of fact, this is a case that if they wanted to charge her with murder, they possibly would even need a body to be able to confirm the true cause of death, as well as to be able to listen to her story to see exactly what role she played. But I don't see her saying that part. I really don't see her saying that part. I don't. Yeah, I don't think. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't I don't see her saying that part at all. Deletion doesn't expire. It can be it can be charged. Yes, it can be charged at any time. What we're saying is the evidence. They have to be able to prove that she actually played a role in the murder. We know she did the cover up. The only way that I see them able to prove that she did the murder is if a body is found and there's something there, which it has been so long, to prove that she played a part, or unless she go ahead and admit it and say, this is the role that I played. Being this far out, those chances are slim. She's going to let this man be the fall for it all because he's deceased now. He's deceased. So she can walk away with this secret for life and never have to stand in prison for as much time as he would have, because she was just charged with the cover up. Now, so I don't think that she will ever be honest. I don't. I really don't. They can find evidence 15 years and then charge her, but they got to have the body for evidence. Exactly. That's the only way that I see them being able to do it, is they would need her body, guys. And she can tell them where the body is, because something tells me that she knows where the body is. 100% knows where the body is. This reminds me of that story of I haven't covered that over here with you guys. This reminds me of that story of that young lady. She was missing for years. I'm gonna do it. Matter of fact, we're probably gonna do that on Friday. We possibly are going to do it on Friday, guys, because yeah, it reminds me of a whole nother story. And it literally looks just like this other case. She may be crazy, but I don't think that she is totally stupid. Me either. I don't think that she's totally stupid. I think that they went into this knowing what they wanted to do with her when she began to tell other people, especially outside of the home. Okay. She told her mother, she wrote it in her diary, and something tells me that she began to tell friends and family what was happening. And because of this, they decided, okay, we got to get rid of her. We got to kill her. We have to kill her, because if we do not kill her, you're going to go to jail, or we're going to go to jail. And because this mother is just a piece of crap, instead of just turning him over to the authorities, she put herself in a deeper hole and assisted him with killing her daughter. That's honestly what they charged with Nazia's without a body. Yeah, but here's the thing with that. Here's the kicker. Okay? Because I thought about that. Here's the kicker. That's the charge that Jarvis is fighting. Jarvis is fighting that part. He has admitted, he is not contesting that he essayed her, guys. He's not contesting that. What he is contesting is that he did not murder her. And there are people who are saying that it was not Jarvis. It was Shannon. There was someone that came out a couple days ago. Many people are saying it's his is a Jarvis brother. I don't know who this man is because I could not see his face and he did not say a name. Okay. But he says that Shannon When Shannon discovered that Neziah was pregnant, she lost it. She did something to Neziah. They scattered some of her clothes around to basically throw people off. And he also said that Jarvis is going to use the timeline in his trial to prove that it would have been impossible for him to do the murder. And here's what my thinking is in that situation. If that's the case, if they give Shannon immunity, she can really testify against him. But also, because there's no body, there's not enough evidence to prove murder against Shannon. But there is enough evidence to prove SA against Jarvis. The question of that case is, who did the murder? And that's what Jarvis is fighting. He's fighting the murder charge. But but will they justly punish? The wise prosecutors will not charge unless they can put him away. Exactly. And so most of like when I was looking at the evidence for Neziah's case, like most of the evidence is either data or testimonial. When it comes to the murder part, there's a lot of questions and holes in that arena. Because one, there's no body, okay? So we don't have a cause of death. We don't have anything to say that of who did what, when, and why to cause a murder. So there's a lot of circumstantial evidence when it comes to the murder half of the Neziah Harris case. Mostly everything else is testimonial and data from text messages and things of that nature. Videos on the school bus, testimonials from, Jarvis' co-worker, testimonials from the family and things of that nature. But as far as the murder stuff, it's a big question mark on that. It's a big, big question mark because let's not forget, people are still searching for Neziah, even though they're being told not to search. Okay. So yeah, that's why it's one of those situations. It's just like this case. It's easier to charge one person when the evidence weighs more to that one person. Now, when you start adding a second and third and fourth person, you literally would have to be able to have evidence that matches the charges to get a conviction. If you don't, it's going to fall through the cracks. It's not going to go through. So there's more evidence that is leaning towards him here. So for example, there's evidence of him doing things to her inappropriately. Okay. There's evidence of that. There's a 9-minute phone call. Okay. That leads to the fact that prosecutors believe that she's deceased, but that phone call was made by him. Now, why she wouldn't be able to be charged is because who's to say that she was even on the scene of the murder? Just like with the Neziah Harris case, there's plenty of evidence to prove that Jarvis essayed Neziah. But when it comes to the evidence of murder, we're still waiting to see what they even have and why have they deemed it to be a murder? Because most of the evidence that we have heard, even in the hearing, goes towards the essay, not murder, really. So charging someone on a basis of evidence that just has a lot of holes in it, it wouldn't make sense. It's a waste of time, and it wouldn't get a nice conviction at all, like Bernadette B is saying. So it's easier when the evidence weighs heavy on one person than when it's multiple people involved. Sad, but some of these bodies will never be found. Yeah, some of these bodies will never be found. Like this girl, Bernadette's body will never be found. One, because the person that has been charged with her death is dead. I would love to know what happened to him in jail. I don't know if it's, he did it or someone else did it, but they walked in and he was gone. Okay. I would love to know what happened with that. And I don't see the mother. If the mother would cover him up living, we know she'll cover him up in his death. If the mother would tell her daughter, you're lying, okay? And if you continue to lie, I'm going to put you out, as well as threaten her. Who knows what this woman would do? Who knows what she would do? Somebody got him. You think so? You think somebody got him? Either someone got him or he knew that the truth was going to eventually come out, which still hasn't come out. Still hasn't come out. You know? Yeah, they don't want to be made fools like the movies. So you have to be really mindful when it comes to why certain people aren't charged, or because you have to be able to look at the weight of the evidence. You have to be able to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. And that's the prosecutor's job, is to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that that they did it. Okay, that's what they have to do. This woman, the mother, it would be very hard doing that. Now, I don't know how the UK's job, how theirs is, but I think theirs is kind of like an image of ours. But yeah, I don't know their laws wholeheartedly, but yeah. Why are these cases so similar? There's one that is just like this. I really want to play it for you guys so bad. It's in my head right now because it literally is a mirror of another case. I really want to play it for you guys so bad because it's just one of those cases, guys, that's kind of crazy. Hold on, let me see. 1 second. I think it's on. I think I had it on for you guys on. Yeah, I think it's on. Is it? Do I have it on YouTube? Wait a second. Nope, I don't have it on YouTube. I don't know where I have it at, guys, but it's somewhere around here. But there's a whole nother case where the child had went missing. The mother says, okay, so the child was first raised by her grandmother. Okay, her grandmother got sick with cancer, so she had to be sent back to her mother, who was not able to take care of her. The mother was a hoarder. She was just nasty. They said it was she continued to have kids and she abused them and things of that nature. Okay. So she went back to her mother's house, and her mother was supposed to be taking her back to her grandmother's house because something had happened at her home. Okay. So the stepfather was supposed to be going to go take her back to the grandmother's house. So when she took her back to her grandmother's house, the stepfather says that she jumped out of the car, just like Bernadette. She jumped out of the car. Hey, Shantae. She jumped out the car while they were at a gas station. Okay. And she hasn't been seen. She was missing for years. A few months ago, they found her body in a home. Okay. It was decayed in a home, in a freezer, the same freezer in which her mother and stepfather used to live at. Okay. The mother says, now the mother has told many different stories over the years. The mother says that she ran away. The mother says she went to go start a new life. The mother says that she OD'd. The mother has given so many different reasons of what happened to this child. Okay. She said she was on drugs and she OD'd and things of that nature. Okay. And it literally is a mirror to Bernadette's case. I covered it a few months ago before I started back on YouTube, guys. I think it's either on, I think it's on my Facebook page. That's where I honestly think it's at. I don't think that it's anywhere else but there. Honestly, I think it's on my Facebook if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, it's evil mom syndrome. It's something, but it literally mirrors this. There's a lot of cases that are coming up that were older cases, but the children either has been missing for years or the parents are just sick in the mind. And they have done some of the most heinous things and the secrets are now coming out. But yeah, the case that I'm talking about, I think it happened in Texas. That's where I'm thinking it happened at. In Texas somewhere. Give me one. I'm trying to see if because it's a really short video that I did. And I'm trying to see, do I have it anywhere? And I don't think I do, but I may have to do a whole nother, um, I may have to do a whole nother video on it because it's really crazy. It's really, really crazy. Really crazy. Hold on, let me see, guys. Let me see if it's down. I think I have it. It's I think it's on my Facebook. Okay, here it goes. I'm gonna show Okay, I'm about to show you guys it so you can see exactly what I mean. Hold on. We possibly have to do a whole story on a show on this one. This one and this one alone. In 2005, Amanda Overstreet was discovered in the freezer of her biological mother. She was 15 years old when she went missing. Amanda Overstreet was raised in County, Texas, and was taken in by her grandmother, Nelda Overstreet, when she was just 3 years old. Due to neglect and abuse, Amanda's biological mother, Leanne Eimer, lost custody of her. Amanda attended school in County, from elementary school until the time she went missing, while also spending time at Warren ISD during the 2004-2005 school year, as multiple classmates have images of her attending school at both locations. During 2004-2005, Nelda, Amanda's grandmother, who adopted and raised her, tragically fell ill with lung cancer. Following Nelda's passing, no one in Amanda's family was prepared or able to provide her with a home, leaving her to reside with her estranged biological mother, Leanne, and Leanne's husband, Bradley Eimer, along with their daughter, Elsie Eimer, who reside in Grand Junction, Colorado. Many suspect that this living situation was not established through legal means, since Amanda had been formally taken away from Leanne's care. It seems that this decision was made by distant relatives who believed they had no other alternative. Shortly after Amanda started living with Leanne in Colorado, Leanne contacted a relative in County and informed them that she was unable to continue caring for Amanda. Leanne requested financial assistance to bring Amanda back to Texas, but Amanda never returned. Leanne informed relatives that Amanda had ran away at a gas station in Amarillo, Texas, after being unable to locate her. Leanne returned home to Colorado. There is no official records of Amanda being reported missing or as a runaway. In 2017, Amanda's classmates banded together when they were still clueless about Amanda's location, despite Leanne's advice to cease the search, insisting that Amanda had run away. The group persisted in their efforts. They scoured databases and tried to find missing persons reports, but faced rejection from the authorities due to lack of family support. Despite Amanda's friends and classmates contacting relatives, they were informed by one relative that Leanne claimed in 2005 that Amanda had died from an overdose and that she had secretly buried her. However, Leanne maintains that Amanda is simply a runaway and even mentioned to someone that she believed that Amanda had changed her name and was now residing in a different state. The relative suspects that Leanne resorted to a secret burial out of fear that her daughter Elsie would be taken away from her custody, as she was prohibited from having any children under her care within the Texas CPS system. Leanne had several infants taken away from her by CPS right after they were born because of sexual abuse and neglect. Despite not acknowledging Amanda's presence, Leanne frequently mentions her daughter Elsie, and it's alleged that Bradley and Leanne would warn Elsie that if she didn't behave, she would end up like her older sister. Leanne's husband, Bradley Eimer, passed away from COVID in 2021, prompting her to organize a fundraiser for a proper burial. Leanne praised Bradley, portraying him as a remarkable man, a loving father, and the love of her life. Due to the unacceptable state of the Grand Junction home, Leanne was forced to leave in January of 2024. Following the removal of Leanne's possessions and garbage by the new owners, they sold a deep freezer to a nearby resident. During the cleaning of the freezer, a bag containing Amanda Overstreet's head fell out onto the ground. Amanda's classmates and friends are devastated by this tragic conclusion. While a few family members made efforts to search for her, most of her relatives stayed quiet. Numerous unanswered questions remain, and it is crucial for Amanda to receive justice that she deserves. You see what I mean? It's literally the same story. It's literally that's why the whole time I'm doing the Bernadette story, I'm thinking about this story because it's like a whole It's literally the same story. So that's why I'm like, this sounds kind of crazy. It's like they either they copied her story or all evil parents think alike. I don't know what it is, but can we say evil? Very. And here's the thing: as I was digging into that case, the mother has literally acted like her daughter does not exist. Okay, she only claims the one daughter. That's it, and her son. She does not claim the one that has been missing and whose skull was found in a freezer. And she says, and when everyone asks her why, did she ever check the freezer? It was like, well, I never went into the freezer. My husband used the freezer. My husband used it. He would always tell me, don't go to the freezer. So many people believe that either she did something to her daughter or she allowed her husband to do something to her daughter and they covered it up. But the entire time that she had been missing, she was in the freezer dead. They found her last year, late last year. They found her. She's been gone for years, guys. Years. Meanwhile, Leanne was living in there with the skull in the freezer. The only reason that she got put out is because she lost the house. Okay? Leanne has been determined to be a very evil, very spiteful lady. She took money from her own father and everything. Took money, she the property, falsified the property, took it, okay? And then she attempted to sell it. She done did a whole lot of stuff. The woman was evil. But yes, so Bernadette's story actually images the Amanda Overstreet story so vividly. But yeah, that's what happened with that case. With this case, and it's literally the same. The infamous drive to the grandparents' house. The kid jumps out, and the stepfather can't find him. It makes me wonder, did they copy her? Because Amanda's Overstreet's case was huge. They had Facebook groups and everything. It makes me wonder, did they copy her story? Because it matches it so well. It really matches her. So that's what I'm thinking, Lisa. Was it a copycat murder? And we may say, well, that was in the UK. Yeah, but Amanda Overstreet's case was years ago and everybody was talking about it. It was a huge case. Huge. Okay. So I wouldn't be surprised if they seen how Amanda's Overstreet's case was able to be covered up for such a long time. I wouldn't be surprised if they did the same thing, the exact same thing. I wouldn't be surprised if a few years from now they don't go and look at one of the properties and they find the baby in the freezer. I really wouldn't even be surprised because it matches it so well. Yeah, very huge case. Yeah. What if the sibling did it and covered for them? How old were they at the time? We usually look at the stepdad, but it's been known to happen. Well, here's the thing with that. You mean with the Amanda Overstreet case? So with the Amanda Overstreet case, the sibling was actually younger than her. So when Amanda had passed away, her little sister was a baby. Her little sister was a baby. Amanda was gone for years. Years. But her younger sister, the one Elsie, she was about 1 or 2 years old. When it comes to the brother, okay, keep in mind that she was separated from her brother. She was separated from her brother and the rest of her siblings because the mother had gotten them taken. So they all did not live together. So some of the siblings lived with their biological fathers and other ones who went with other grandparents who were on their father's side. Amanda had went with her mother's mother, and then Elsie is the one that stayed with Amanda Overstreet's mother. But Amanda Overstreet's mother was not supposed to have Elsie because the states have already told her that she's not allowed to have no kids in her custody. All of them had already been snatched away. So she had snuck and ran off to Texas because she wasn't supposed to be having children at all. So she took Elsie, the last and final one, with her and went blank, basically. The only reason that Amanda was back with her mother is because her grandmother, who had her in her custody, had fell ill. And the aunt of the grandmother, who also assisted with raising Amanda, she also got cancer, literally like a few months after her sister, which was Amanda Overstreet's grandmother. They both got cancer at the same time. So it was a thinking at one point in time that she would be able to go with her aunt, but she couldn't be able to go with her aunt because her aunt also was sick. So she was forced to go back to the mother that she was taken from the beginning when she was really, really young. So the only kid that was in Amanda Overstreet's mother's custody was Elsie. That's the only one. The other brothers, they didn't come around until they were older because they were living with other family members. Now, when it comes to Bernadette's case, her brother, he's over there running a Facebook group and he's been helping from the very beginning. And he also has been calling out the mother and the father for the things in which they had done. So yeah, in both of these situations, I think the people who we feel as though done it did it. Now, when it comes to Amanda Overstreet's death, um, no one has been charged because her mother's, her stepdad, he died, and the mother is just plain delirious and delusional, as if she doesn't know what's going on. She's still lying. She's still trying to act like that she doesn't have no parts in this and no one has been arrested. She's out and about in the world as if her daughter hasn't been missing and body found in a refrigerator, in a fridge, in a home in which she used to live in. The home that you guys seen was the home that she lived in. They were hoarders. It looks nasty in there. So yeah, that's how I view. I think that both of these cases, the people who are connected, which were the parents, has something to do with it. Now, the question when it comes to Amanda Overstreet's case, many people wondered was it the stepfather? But from the daughter, Elsie, who is the stepfather's biological child, Elsie says that her father would never do anything like that. She says her mother would, though. Her mother would do it. Her mother would kill her sister, but not her father. She says that her father was her mother was really crazy and abusive and something like that. Something in their environment made them sick and expire in close time. So the girl could have expired from the same thing. But mother would fear losing other kids if she reported it. Yeah, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. Okay. We gotta remember about the car drive. There was a car drive where the stepfather was taking her from the grandmother's house. She went from her grandmother's house to her mother's house, and the stepfather was taking her back to the grandmother's house. So she wasn't even living at her grandmother's house within the time she went missing. He was the last person to see her, is what they say. He put her in a car, and he was supposed to be taking her back to the grandmother's house because Elsie and the mother and the stepfather said that they could not deal with Amanda. So they took her back to the grandmother's house. But here it's also some things where the mother had requested some money. She requested some money from the grandmother in order to bring her back, Amanda back. But Amanda never made it. So many people do believe that the money was utilized for something different. Because they said that her mother was really, everything was about money. So when I was looking into the case, you can see her begging for money on Facebook for anything. Everything was about money, money, money. Even when it came down for her taking her father's house after her mother passed away. Money, money, money. Everything was about money. Everything. She falsified some documents, okay, in regards to money. So yeah, this was a woman that was very money hungry and will go above and beyond about it. So my thinking is that they gave her that money, and she was supposed to be bringing Amanda back, but she never brought her back, and that money was used for something different. I don't know what that money was used for, but it was definitely used for something different. That's what I think, and I think that she also played a role in it too, in the murder. But yeah, both two crazy cases, one and the same. One, they look exactly the same. Alrighty, guys, I'm about to get ready to go. Bigo people, you guys, Bigo people. We're about to go and talk about what is her name, guys? Uh Raina, Karen Raina. Okay. We're gonna go talk about her. She's an influencer that was supposed to be going to the baddies audition. Okay, we're gonna go over her timeline today. A lot of things don't make sense to me. In this case, she was. Thank you, Dolores. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, she was going to a baddies thing back in November, I think. She was going to Ohio. Her body was just discovered. And her when I went to her social media, it looks out of character. It doesn't look right. So we're going to go over that today, okay? And that's going to be the story for on the Bigo side of things. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you guys haven't already, tomorrow's show has already been posted. There's a man that killed 3 generations of women over money, is what they're saying, okay? We're going to cover that tomorrow. We're going to cover that tomorrow. Yes, Dolores is today's producer, guys. Thank you so much, Miss Dolores, for this choice. This was a great choice. We actually was able to do 2 cases. Well, we talked about Naziah too. It's crazy that all these cases kind of like have the same, like it's crazy. Both of these cases have the same crazy step parent mother that's delusional and crazy. It's I was waiting for you to cover the baddie case. Yes, we're about to cover the baddie case over the Beagles of things, and that's where I'm about to go. Alrighty, guys, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Make sure that you turn on your notifications for the show for tomorrow. If you are watching now, go ahead and comment under the video for the replay so that you can be entered into the raffle. This month, we are giving away a gift card for Bath and Body Works, or if men want a Amazon gift card, they can get that as well, okay? But the focus is Amazon, Bath and Body Works, okay? So please make sure that you go engage. All you have to do is go comment under this video, okay? Or comment under any of my posts on Spaces, my website, Instagram, or Facebook in order for you to be entered into the raffle, okay? As many times as you like. If you comment under every video, you will be entered for every video. Y'all seen the list last month. Evangelist and Dolores. I really thought they was going to win with all the entries they had. Hey, Casper, how are you? I really thought that they were going to win, but it was not them. So shout out to January's winner. She did win. So congrats to her, okay? I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for tuning in to True Crime with Savage Royce.